Hello guys, how are you? It's 23rd April and I hope that you all are fine. I just wanted to ask about the length of the video because I feel like it's like quite close to 40 minutes. So it would be really helpful for me if you guys could share some insights on this thing because then I know what you want and how I should proceed from here. So please share some suggestions in the comment section and yeah, let's get on with the day. So the first headline is we expect a national plan from Center on Oxygen Drugs, Supreme Court. So Supreme Court is talking about like in these circumstances, we direct that notices be issued to the union government, the state government, and the parties who appear to have approached the High Court to show cause why uniform orders be not passed by this court in relation to supply of oxygen, supply of essential drugs, method and manner of vaccination, and declaration of lockdown. Sat the bench. Okay, so now the court is talking about that the circumstances we are in, why some things were not disclosed, and yeah. Next, center cracks down on curbs to oxygen movement. Okay, so now new method like new policies have been passed. No restrictions shall be imposed on oxygen manufacture and suppliers to limit supplies only to the hospitals of the union state in which they are located. Okay, so yeah, that's the thing. So that maybe this is an step. This is a step towards more manufacturing of oxygen cylinders and more supply to increase the supply. Sadia seeks Central's help as capital chokes. Kejriwal calls on counterparts in other states for a united fight against the pandemic. So yeah, pehle Mr. Kejriwal was saying that we are ready and all, but right now we can see the reality. According to Delhi government's estimate, Mr. Kejriwal said the city required a daily supply of 700 tons of oxygen, and the center had on Wednesday decided to increase the initial quota of 378 tons to 480 tons. So the condition here is definitely going worse, getting worse. All adults can sign up for JAF from April 28th. So this is about the vaccination process of people aged between 18 to 45 from 1st May. You can do the online registrations from April 28. I'll say consult your doctor first and then go with it. Easy puts curbs on roadshows in West Bengal. So yeah, this has been like there are three phases left, and first it was decided that rallies will take place with 500 people in the rallies. But now Mr. Modi had like five rallies, but it was shortlisted down to three, and now all of them are cancelled. He'll do virtual rallies while India suffocates. So that's really and my like that's really something. I don't know what else to say. 300 flyers keep COVID tests at Assam airport. Okay, so this is the problem. There should be arrangements to from the government to stop people, to stop these people who might be affected, and they should get isolated. I don't know why people run away from these things. They will be. They are the one who's going to save their family. So I don't know. Create social corridor for oxygen supply to the SC Direct Center. Okay, from neighboring states such as Haryana. So from neighboring states, yeah, there should be green corridor for this because the condition is getting worse and people need it. Senior advocate Rahul Mehra representing Delhi government said there's a four-fold spike in COVID-19 cases in the capital. The center could consider augmenting 80% of beds in AIMS Jajjar, AIMS Trauma Center, Ramanow Loya Hospital, Safardangang and Lady Harden's Hospital to make available around 8,000 more beds. We expect the center to look into the requirement, Sabin said. Okay, let's see what happens. So first page is done. So let's come to second page. Join hands to defeat virus, defying state borders, appeals Kejriwal. So yeah, I think when there is nothing that he can do, he's asking for help. So yeah, people should realize this and stay safe, stay home. Six hospitals ran out of oxygen. UP government's trying to hold oxygen. I mean, this is really bad because I mean no, they are looking for their for like looking after their state, but they shouldn't be done, right? Because people are dying. So, city reports 26,169 cases, 306 deaths. So this is of Delhi, and this is really, 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 scary because the cases are increasing only. Plea seeking handcuffs for Khalid Safir dismissed. Okay, the court noted that the applications were filed by in charge lockup Karkar District Court reportedly after a decision was taken in the matter by so-called senior police officer of Delhi Police to move such application before the court. He is a high-risk prisoner. Okay, during the hearing, Special Public Prosecutor Manoj Chaudhary was asked about the meaning of high-risk prisoner. He however stated that he is not aware of the instant applications. Standard laborers on Mumbai bank on hope. With no money or means to go back to the village, they hope the lockdown is not extended this time. Yeah, this is really like disheartening for us because these people they were stuck before also and now also. So I hope a government, state government should do something towards helping them. Delhi police on their feet to keep the capital breathing. Braving adverse situation, they are working to help hospitals and patients out. Okay, amid all this, we were informed that the oxygen had completely run out and some patients were having seizures. The pressure was mounting around 12:30 a.m. Samalka tanker reached and by 1 a.m. the one from JTB2 came. We helped them with 7 tons of oxygen. He said, adding them over 100 police were enrolled in this mission for 5 to 6 hours. Okay, so yeah, there are a lot of issues and everyone is coming together to help. That is a good thing. Policemen perform last rites of victim after family disowned body. Wow. Nobody came forward to help fearing infection. I mean, wow. Wow. Oxygen crisis averted at Korean Hospital. District administration intervenes. Okay, in a situation akin to Delhi hospitals over the past few days, FMRI 2 was doomed to just 45 minutes of liquid. Where is it? Forcing the hospital authority to put on a series of distress messages on Twitter seeking immediate intervention of the state and the central government. So just look at the situation. Twitter and other things are being used to ask for help, and I don't know what arrangement central government did because everyone knew that this second wave of COVID was going to come, but still I don't know. This is really sad. Police to obtain Deep Sidhu's voice sample. Metropolitan Magistrate Sahil Gupta allowed the application with the police claimed that in order to authenticate the voice accused in several videos, it was necessary that his voice was matched with the voice in those clippings. Yeah, this is related to the 26th January protest by Kisan. Kerala slams center on vaccine shortage. Yeah, they should. Dual price policy announced by the centre received sharp criticism, with the netizens lashing out that Prime Minister saying he's insensitive to people's issue. According to NGO and private hospitals, the prices of oxygen have increased by at least 500 to 600%. Wow. It's being sold for 3,000 right now, the oxygen cylinders. AP review situation. In Mangalgiri, Andhra Pradesh Health Minister Alka Kallikrishna Srinivasan said they had discussed the steps needed to bring down the number of cases and maintain adequate supply of oxygen and vaccination. I mean, there is no real price, and people are like, kuch bhi, like they're charging anything. Ha. Telangana fertility is rising second with Karnataka toll 122. So even in the south, this is increasing, and this only tells us that how unprepared states were dealing with the second wave, and now the third variant is also here. So let's say shops to shut after 6 p.m. from today. Says CM. Okay. I think this will be a good step towards breaking the chains. Let's see. Breaking the chain. FIR against private hospital in Kanpur. Oh, okay. Okay, let's go to the other page. Judges pro tem. This is the editorial section. Roping in retired High Court judges to clear backlog should not be at cost of regular appointments. The Supreme Court decision to invoke a dormant provision in the Constitution to clear the way for appointment of retired judges as ad hoc judges to clear the mounting areas in the various high courts is an indictment of the extraordinary delay in filing of judicial vacancies. Okay, regarding if you are preparing for CAT, then this page is like the Bhagavad Gita. You can note down a lot of things. Whether the fault lies with the collegium system or the center's steadiness, there's a little doubt. There's a little doubt that the unacceptable delay in appointment process in recent times has caused huge vacancies in High Court. Therefore, it is definitely not unwelcome that the court has chosen to activate Article 22(4)(a) of the Constitution, which provides for appointment of ad hoc judges in the High Court based on their consent, a bench headed by CJI Chief Justice of India. CA Bobde has made it clear that the challenge of mounting arrears and existing vacancies requires resources to Article 22(4)(a). I think you all should read it and give it a thought and search about Article 22(4)(a) also. We can try this way. Article 24. Let's see what does. Article 22(4)(a) of Constitution allows the Chief Justice of a High Court to appoint a person who has been a judge earlier to sit as a judge of the court with the previous consent of the President. The government had said that the High Court must not invoke this till they filled up all regular vacancies. Oh, okay. As the provision has been utilized only sparingly in the past and for limited purpose of disposing of particular kinds of cases, the endeavor to appoint ad hoc judges will have to come with some guidelines. The court has made a beginning by directing the trigger point for such an appointment will be when vacancies go beyond 20% of the section strength or when more than 10% of backlog of pending cases are over 5 years old. When cases in particular category are pending, the bench has ruled that the current memorandum of procedure be also followed for appointing these judges. Okay. So yeah, now you know how they are going to do that. Green and Raw Center should clarify how far experience can be treated as expertise for tribunal post. The establishment of tribunals as adjudicatory bodies in a specific field is based on the ideas that specialization and expertise are required to decide complex cases of a technical nature. The tribunalization of justice is driven by the recognition that it will be cost effective. Okay. Let me just note down this word, tribunalization. This seems an interesting word. Scope for utilizing expertise in the respective fields. Central to this scheme is the principle that the experts appointed to these tribunals should bring in special knowledge and experience. Okay, I think they're talking about this only. But let's Google this tribunalization and let's see what we find. Okay. Means a set of bench upon which judges or judges sit and decide controversies between the parties and so judges upon which distinguished from purely administrative functions. So it's related to two parties and having the power to, guide the next course of action for them. This is related to code. I thought so, but I thought that it might be, close to media or something. Okay, let's see. The ad spells out two kinds of criteria, one based on qualification and practical experience, and another on administration experience in the field. And a candidate has to fulfill only one of them. Okay. For the first, a master's or a doctorate in science, engineering, or technology with 15 years experience in the relevant field, including 5 in environment, for forests in a national level institutions that the fields include pollution control, hazardous substance management, and forest conservation. On the other hand, The administrative experience criteria is shorn of detail and merely stipulates 15 years of experience. Okay, let's see if we need to go through this more. I'll say let's switch. The checkered legacy of our Chief Justice of India. As the Supreme Court turns the page on the tenure of the outgoing CGI, it needs to reclaim its role as a judicial beacon. The Supreme Court of India, the last 5 years during the tenure of the last four Chief Justices of India, has seen an unprecedented fall from being an independent custodian of justice to becoming an instrumentally of the government. So basically, everyone's saying that since last 4 years, the judicial system, the Supreme Court has become like a puppet of the government, of the present government. After the tenure of former CJI Ranjan Gogoi, who oversaw Ayodhya and Rafale verdicts, before retiring to join the Rajya Sabha, we thought the worst was behind us. We hope that his successor, CJI S.A. Bobde, would lift the court out of this abysses and at least restore its independence from the executive. But the nearly 18 months of his tenure has exposed a deep malice in every aspect of dispensation of justice. Okay, so they're saying that they thought that this new Chief Justice S.A. Bobde was going to be better than this guy and will restore the old glory of Supreme Court, but that didn't happen. In the allocation of cases and benches to presiding over matters related to protection of civil liberties, securing the rights and the livelihood of the poor and marginalized, or in ensuring that the unconstitutional action and policies of the executive are kept in check. So these are the factors they are saying that he has failed. Momentous months. His tenure began in November 19 with important cases before him. Okay. 100 petitions challenging the dilution of Article 370 and reorganization of the state of Jammu and Kashmir into union territories. Soon after he assumed office, the Citizenship Act was passed, which led to another spate of petitions challenging its constitutionally. Okay, the CS sparked widespread post protest. Yeah, and yeah, to this, then COVID came, and then the problem of the migrant levels during a lockdown. So these were the challenges. A powerful constitutional court like the Supreme Court of India must rise to these challenges, and it is in such challenging times that its mettle and independence is tested. And yeah, this is where they fail because currently we can see what's really going on in the state. So yeah, the case is challenging the cataclysmic changes to the status of Jammu and Kashmir. And let's Google this one. This one seems an interesting word. So it's a large scale event. Okay, it's an interesting word though. So large scale disturbing changes of the state Jammu and Kashmir. The main challenge to the electrical bonds and other changes to electoral funding, which have been a fundamental bearing on our democracy, remains unheard. So there are problems which we are not aware of, and they clearly ignored it and haven't done anything. Honestly. Similarly, the main petition regarding the status of Rohingya refugees and the protection to be accorded to them remain unheard. There are many important problems and issues that was left unheard during the time of Ranjan Gogoi, and it was left with Mr. Bobde as well, and now he is like close to getting replaced. So let's see. And then the problem with the migrant labor administrative role. Exodus seems nice word. So in the end, this was about preparation for cat only. So yeah, let's see. A mass departure. So the words they have used is really migrant labor departure, like a large one, administrative role. The Chief Justice of India also plays a critical role in dealing with complaints against judges. During this tenure, the CJI received a serious complaint made by Chief Minister of a state against one of the court judges with considerable documentary evidence of questionable land purchases for over 6 months. The people in the country were not informed how the complaint had been dealt with and whether any in-house committee has been appointed to who the member of the committee were. So, काफी ज़्यादा corruption type का लगा मतलब ऐसा my opinion. I hope no one gets affected. I have tried to search for the redeeming features in the suggestion, but to my dismay, the only positive intervention by this Chief Justice that I had been able to resolve was his order in the West Bengal lease cases, where he appointed an expert committee to examine the values of the tree which were to be felled by any public projects. There were public projects and they were cutting down trees, and this guy clearly helped with the saying that एक पेड़ की कीमत लाइक करोड़ों में है तो तुम इतने सारे पेड़ काटोगे तुम दे सकते हो क्या descent into disillusionment and chaos. And the second wave, administrative indolence, chaotic public communication, and counterintuitive policies stand out. Okay, let's see what is administrative fatigue. Medicine and social science were two essential pillars of public health. However, medical interventions have historically been the ones to absorb the public health system. Okay, and this goes beyond the abomination of political violence, potentially spreading infection of public representatives, failing at crucial public messaging by not wearing masks themselves. Take the instance of a more peaceful town where no longer sees honking vehicles traverse the streets every morning. Any social distancing and masking messages, unlike during the first wave or the near disappearance after the first wave of rains down outside of a shopping store to encourage social distancing. So they're talking about the measures are done in a particular state and how people are adopting to that. So this was not just an issue about rallies or leaders not wearing masks, but it's much more than that. Poor messaging. Poor messaging, a perspective. Okay, poor messaging means that the message was not really communicated, so I say, from from the leaders and to the people. A perspective. And over medicalized public health emergency is a disaster superimposed on another multiple fundamental aspects of COVID-19 vaccine and the protection afforded by them still remains fuzzy. Furthermore, there are non-negotiable aspects such as the lag between vaccination and protection and the gargantuan challenge of vaccinating a large population as is overcoming our preoccupation with medical solution and looking at behavioral approaches as more than more ritual will be imperative to combat the second wave. Yeah, he's right about this. So they are saying overcoming a preoccupation with medical solutions because it's the medical solutions are currently like they're getting overwhelmed with the with the amount of people we have at hand and looking at behavioral approaches. So behavioral approaches they're mostly talking about people and their approaches towards this. Clarify how far experience is okay, we have done this. Let's move. Should election campaigns be made virtual? Yeah, they should. In fact, they shouldn't happen also. But कोई नहीं. The election commission should either enforce virtual rallies or not conduct elections with the pandemic process. I think parties should be wise enough to do that because the Modi administration for the Bengal elections clearly switched to virtual rallies. So let's see. Making education accessible. There are two possible solutions involving AI, AR, and DD and internet services provider. Two influential agencies. Okay. Educational broadcast for class 10, 11, and 12 to begin with can be done over air and in DD in the ratio 4 is to 1. Those courses which need demonstration were seen observes physical activity is important can be broadcasted on TV. This calls for some training and some effort, but it can be done. Free hours of internet. Another suggestion that the government could consider is to ask internet service provider to provide many hours of free internet usage to teachers and students. This will not be easy, but the government should call the shots and take the decision that is in the interest of the people. So this is like really something 3 years of internet. Okay, I should drop it down. This will work as a good headline. Okay, so let's move ahead with this one. Amplifying the written word. The internet has allowed easier communication between journalists and readers. Yeah, you can see just now I'm reviewing the Hindi e-paper. In my at my place, I think the Hindu newspaper come like around 10 a.m. But here I can access this whenever I want. So whether it's email or it's I mean, whether it's through email, through website, through app, it's really helpful. And today we have platforms like InShots and all. So that is really interesting for. It makes the news interesting, to be honest, and on point. China trying to encircle India. The Soviet Union today accused China of meddling in the affairs of India. Okay, Burma, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka of seeking to encircle India by Peking camp followers. In the most outspoken attack yet of China's latest diplomatic overtures to the West, the Soviet Union also renewed the charge that Peking was dreaming of triggering off an armed clash between the two big powers, the Soviet Union and the United States. In defining Peking aims in the third word, it made allusions to the current developments in Pakistan and Syria, in which Moscow had suspected Peking hands, but had so far refrained from stating it openly. Okay. Meddle in the affairs of India and Burma, Pakistan and Sri Lanka, the Arab states and several other countries of government of their task is to encircle India by state, which would follow in the wake of Peking's policy. Okay, this is like something new. It's like they want to make this like the hotbed, like in the end, which will result in the fighting of two major powers. What does Peking mean? Okay, so Peking is like China's capital, Beijing. Okay, this is really new for me. Yeah, masters in national education. These differences are based upon privileges, but differences arise when we come to its actual working in the practical interpretations of the ideals underlying it, the course or reform to be pursued or the nation fulfillment. Okay. So they're talking about that the education is the best thing that you can give to people today. I mean, yeah. We expect national plan and oxygen drugs. Okay, so national should plan a national plan for oxygen and prices should be kept one. There shouldn't be dual prices for the algorithm please. They question competitions commission move on pro data access. The CCI on the other hand argued to the pro order was made to gauge whether access to data would lead to abuse of dominant position. So it was about them having a data. Not what's about on social media. Giant Facebook, which was the instant messaging app, has also found a celebration and the competition watchdogs March 24 decision. Okay, so on March 24, I think they ordered that you can't really collect all the what the new WhatsApp policy, and I think this is in response to that. CPW calls bids for three secretariat building. Okay, so now three new secretariat buildings will be made. Webinar spotlights India's connect with Korean Wave. In booster travel, Seoul is launching vaccine passports. I mean, this is good. This is good, and in this way it will be much more accessible to people to go there because they are making it easy, and we don't see that during these times in other countries, most of the countries, to be honest. Once order revived, new cases across 3.32 lakh. Okay. PCI bans roadshows in West Bengalia. We have already done that. I think we don't have anything here, so let's move. High turnout in phase 6 of Bengal. Wow, COVID is increasing and they are making new records. Amid COVID-19 surge, Modi cancels West Bengal rallies like I told you. Vaccine policies, anti-people and bias, says Mamata. And she's a little bit right on this because uh, like there is no base rule for this. There is no base price for this. Manmani chal rahi hai, and that shouldn't be done. Let High Court deal with the situation. Okay. A large body on Thursday moved the Supreme Court, which has taken the appeal to be restored to deal with the situation. Okay, pandemic related issues on a local level should be headed by the judicial system. I mean, that makes sense also because they are like everywhere in most of the cities, ready to extend help to India, says China. So China is currently like ready with helping hand. Assam Congress moved poll conditional resort. The condition is actually getting worse for Indians. Uncertainty looms over vaccine rollout for all above 18. See the shots as on April 14th about this vaccine doses have been supplied to the US, to the state, widespread. This phase for Gujarat, it's also okay. So no difference the doses supplied as of April 14 as percentage. No difference doses used as April. Wow. A senior management official closely connected with Korean administration said that the centre's decision was led by Mr. Waring, wanting the flexibility to domestically procure vaccine as well as import them. So now more states are focusing towards like getting them on their own and distributing as per they want. To address the ongoing crisis, the way out was a massively parallel process of rollout, and the surge has also brought to the front the need for spreading vaccination. Okay, yeah, he's the son. He passed away, I think, due to COVID only, and he's a big political leader, big Congress political leader. Vaccine policy has failed South. Yeah, it has, and Sonia Ji is saying that because elections. He returns vaccine with apology note. Okay. Okay, this is really the thief has ethics. Oxygen trains to set off from Maharashtra and UP. Okay, this is actually really important, and I appreciate the efforts. The one who controls. Okay, we're done with that also. Um, okay, NFT. In case you guys digital in the detail as the hypermonetary art reaches as Sassanado. Reaches us. Let's see what this word is. I mean, there's a hell lot of like interesting words. And in case you are wondering what NFT is, NFT is the largest point reached in a gradually increasing sound. I mean, it's like hype up. NFTs are non-fungible tokens, and they are very famous because see, these are the artworks which you own digitally. You won't even have a copy of them. So I don't see the real life use in them. Like Amir ho gaya soch le. But maybe I'm not a financial expert, but it's a good investment opportunity to be honest. Currently, there are OpenSea, Ravel, Super Rare Foundation, and blah blah blah, with their own collections of artwork. Okay, I'll say that there's no gold standard for NFT art marketplace yet. In the physical world, you have different galleries and you have Southpays and Christie's as the gold standard of auction houses. The virtual world will reflect the same. So we also over the next. So they're saying that there is no like a ground rule or standard. जो बड़े big जो houses होते हैं who do this क्या बोलते हैं इसको who do the ऑप्शंस एंड ऑल वही बड़े हो गए वही गोल्ड स्टैंडर्ड हो गए उनके बाद ये हो गए which are users of formatting of subject in manage evolution to proposal please various of visitor. So you can read it if you want. Let's go for it. Yes, will cut emissions by 52% by 2030. This is related to the carbon footprint, I think, jobs and growth. I mean, Mr. Biden has to do something to take India out of Modi announces climate partnership with US to main tracks. The partnership was described in general terms as an joint Indian-US statement released by Ministry of External Affairs. Its goal would be to mobilize financial speed, clean energy development, demonstrate and scale up innovation, clean technologies. Okay, blah blah blah. The partnership will proceed along with two main tracks: that is the strategic clean energy partnership and the climate action and finance mobilization dialogue, which will build on the submissive range of existing process below 2 degrees Celsius. Despite the development challenges, we have taken many bold steps on clean energy efficiency, afforestation, biodiversity. This is what we are among the few countries whose NDCs are 2 degrees Celsius compatible. Mr. Modi said during this. Okay, it is targeting a 2030 GDP emissions intensity that is 33 35 below 2005 levels, as well as a unit of GDP. Okay, 33. They are the target is around 33, I guess. Australian Sunrise deals on national interest grounds. Okay, so ये this was about the green the sorry कोई बेल्ट रोड करके ये बनाते थे ना, हाँ, जिसमें ये पैसे वैसे देते थे. Free and open Indo-Pacific, something like that. Speaking to reporters in New Zealand after meeting with her counterpart, blah blah blah, sort of clear eye and practical engagement with China, particularly as about image. We also have to acknowledge China's outlook, the nature of China's regional arrangement, both in our region and globally, has changed recently, and real partnership requires us to adapt to those new realities. So they are basically talking about China's, the image and the people, the outlook people have towards it. Chinese Defense Minister Wang Fengshi to visit Sri Lanka. Okay. Russia orders troops back after massive drills near Ukraine. Okay. That toll in Park hotel explosion rise to 5. Okay, there was this explosion after attack near. Okay. An attack. A sophisticated episode was swept from Syria to Israel. Northern. Okay. Let's go to business. Retail assets quality concerns re-emerge as case surge. Small. Okay. The restrictions on movement would have a bearing on collection efforts for the NBFCs, especially for microfinance loans where cash collections still remain dominant. Okay, post the nationwide lockdown last year, we had witnessed a severe drop in collections for most asset class. The restrictions, secularization volumes had dropped to a quarterly record low of this. Okay. Industry urges finance to extend timelines for compliance. Is it for commercial the name is corporate? So yeah, because small business will be the one who will get the hit most. COVID impacts 82% of small businesses. Yeah, big players, big players have it all sorted most of the time. Life insurance, for financial year 21 first year premium goes to this. Yeah, it's a very big number. And now everyone wants that, so yeah, they are winning it. RBI allows banks to pay 50% dividends. Ashok Leyland's bets on LCVs. We started LCVs, light commercial vehicles, and the defense business at their key levels for growth. Okay. For already working on Beijing portfolio gas with a modular range on defense, he said all that in order for the next 15 months. Okay, so you can look for Ashok Leylands because they might get a good hit and they could bump in the stock if they acquire it. Which just best warriors. I think we're done with the sports and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So if you are if watched till the end, then please drop a comment saying Ashok, and this will let me know that you have watched it till the end, and yeah, I'll be much more a lot happy, trust me. Thank you everyone, and have a good day, stay safe, and wear a mask and sanitize.